so you're working and you're attending to something else. So you essentially your attention is somewhere else, and then your ears hear this alarm, and it's one of many different alarms, but it just happens to be in the room right beside you. So you look up, and the alarm usually has to do with the alarms that are for certain on every monitor are too fast and too slow, hopefully. And so if you didn't change them yourself, you just came in on a shift, for example, as a nurse, and you're working with a patient, these alarms are going to be already set for you. You haven't done anything with them. So maybe they're going to go off when the heart rate is less than 50 or less than 40, and they're going to similarly go off if the heart rate is greater than maybe 140 or 150. So if those alarms going off, they could be wrong. But if you look up and you're like, whoa, right, this person's been going with a heart rate of about 80, 90. That's what I've been used to. And now the heart rate is 190. Like, okay, something just changed. Now, 190 would be now where if you look back to the person, and 190 doesn't have much ventricular filling time at all. So the amount of blood that's being pumped forward will be significantly diminished. And I'm thinking, I look over, and now the person who I've been with, helping them out, they start to change in front of my eyes. And now the alarm alerted me to that. And not only do I actually have the ability to see that, yes, the patient's changing and I want to be able to respond to that, but the monitor also, it gives me the heads up right away as to what likely needs to be treated. So right now the heart rate's 190. The person looks in trouble. In fact, they just actually stop being awake. I get a little closer. I start push another button because I want to bring other people in. I need more than just me, because 190 needs a bunch of things, including a monitor and other aspects. What that monitor did was shortchange. First, it made me alert to what's going on. Second thing, it gives me an idea about what actually I need to treat, because it's like, oh, it is actually a monitor problem. The person's heart rate's way too fast. We need to go after the heart rate. Now, if I get there and I actually go and check the pulse, for example, and at 190 for this older person with already a challenged heart, I can't find a pulse, then what this also sets up is the ability for me to start doing chest compressions right away. Now, why is that important? As well, of course, the person has no blood flow. Of all the organs in their body, we want them all back. But most people would say, if, of all of them, I prefer to have my brain back. And it just so happens that the brain is the first one that goes with no blood flow. So we're in this, and we end up, I start chest compressions right away. Other people start to come into the room, and all we've had maybe is 10 seconds without blood flow. So there's a really good chance that we can treat this person in a timely way, and at least as important, keep them completely intact. So when they come back, right, they may have a sore chest, but they can complain that they have a sore chest, right? So this is such a big deal, the alarm right away. Think about the alternative. I'm looking after one person, all right, alarm does not go off, they're not on a monitor, they go into the same rhythm. They may actually lose consciousness within 3-4 seconds, way too quickly for them to sometimes even be aware that something's going on. And I will not see it because nobody's calling out my name or let me know what's going on. And it could be 2 minutes before I see it. It could be 20 minutes before I see it. The value of the ECG monitor cannot be underestimated.